I'm in my craft room tonight, so it's a bit cluttered behind there. I'm sorry if that's distracting. Yeah, that's kind of how my mind is half the time, just a bunch of stuff shoved everywhere. But anyway, this was the only place where there was peace and quiet and I could shut the door. So anyway, I just wanted to share something that I found that has been really helpful for working with my boys who have reactive attachment disorder. It's specifically a book. Of course, the first book that I would recommend is When Love Isn't Enough by Nancy Thompson. Or Thomas. I don't know. If you go to Amazon and put in Love Is Not Enough, you'll find it. Anyway, this is Laying Down Rails. Simply Charlotte Mason presents Laying Down Rails. And it is, Charlotte Mason is something that if you're a homeschooler, you are going to be really familiar with. If maybe not her philosophy so much, at least her name. She's something that's really popular with homeschoolers. But anyway, this book it was written by Sonia Schaefer, and it is kind of like a telling or maybe an easier explanation of Charlotte Mason's methods as it applies directly to habits. And the thing with our kids that happens, I share this on my blog, but I'll share it here too. I turned 37 this month, and we were in Meijer, and I thought, I really want a hula hoop. Really, I watch Christine Morris, who I've talked about hula hoops, and I've, really been interested in that. Thought that would be a fun thing to do. It just looked very therapeutic. I hand spin, and just that motion of spinning is very centering to me. So I thought, oh, that's just another, I'm always looking for the new exercise or whatever. So I wanted to try it. So I grabbed a hula hoop. Got the biggest one I could find, and we got home, and I couldn't hula hoop to save my life or yours. I just couldn't do it, no matter what I did. And of course, I thought, oh, I'm fat, I'm ugly, I'm too ugly for this hula hoop. I just can't do this. And so got on the internet, researched how do you hula hoop, da da da. Long story short, figured out that the hula hoop was just too small. It wasn't me, it was the tool I was using. So I ordered a bigger hula hoop, and you know what? It works great. I can hula hoop. I'm not the best in the world, but it's fun, and I enjoy it now. And that made me, God just kind of brought to mind, He often uses circumstances in our lives to stop us for a second and help us change perspective. And I just thought of my little guys that, really the only tools that they've been allowed to develop because of the trauma and the difficulty that they've had in their life are survival skills. And survival skills are great when you're in life or death situations. They don't work so well in day-to-day family life. They can be kind of difficult. And I always struggled with, why do they sabotage everything? If we are going somewhere that's fun, we can't tell them. We show up. That's it. They don't get a warning. They just get told, get dressed, we're going to get going. We won't even tell them when we're on the way. We just show up there. Because every time they will destroy it. They will just act out so much that it's ruined and everybody's unhappy or they can't participate. So we've learned not to warn them. No forewarning. We just show up. We just go. If I buy, new toys, new clothes, anything that's nice, they ruin it. They destroy it. If I'm having an extra good day and I've done it all right and I'm smiling and hugging and loving, they destroy it. They just don't get it. And I never really understood that. And I'm not sure I totally do, but when I look at that now, I think what is happening is they've developed these skills that are fitting for life or death situations. I may not be fed. I may not be cared for. I may not be warm. I may not be safe. So that puts them in constant fight or flight. Well, what happens is I think there's a part of them that recognizes the skills that I have to function don't fit here. They don't fit in safety. I don't know how to act when I'm safe. I don't have a basis of comparison for that. I don't know how to act when I'm going to get a meal. I don't know how to act when someone's going to love me. I don't understand that. I don't know what to do. So I'm going to just shake things up so that I have the proper skills to use here, so that my skills apply. And that may not totally be it, but that makes sense to me when I watch them. That makes sense. So when I looked at that hula hoop, I thought, oh, God, I have to get them a bigger hula hoop. I have to give them these tools to function in society, to function in this family, to function, and not in a, I mean, when I say in this family, it almost sounds like, oh, they fit in or whatever. No. That's not what I mean. What I mean is so that they can thrive and they can do well and not have to always stir up drama around them. So anyway, this book I like because what it talks about is habits. And laying down rails, the reason why it's called that is because she believes that habits are the rails that the track goes on. So once you establish these habits, making your bed. If you get up every morning and you say, okay, we're going to make our beds every morning, and you make that a habit, that's what you do. When things are good, you make your bed. When things are bad, you make your bed. When you're frustrated, you make your bed. When you're discouraged, you make your bed. That's your habit, so you do that. And so she breaks down different habits, cleanliness, cheerfulness, obedience, things like that. And she talks about working on these specific habits. And I had gotten this book before I had my Rad Boys. In fact, 1 month before, which I think was a God thing. Because at the time I was like, well, I don't really have little children. All my children are 10 and 11, and I don't know that this really applies. Well, it does. If you're not dealing with rad kids, if you're not dealing with kids that are traumatized and you're struggling, this still applies. This is still really good. But anyway, but I reread it and I revisited it after we got the kids. These, our boys, and I was amazed at, this woman wrote this in the 1800s, early 1900s, the original writing that this book is based on, and she got it. She understood that that as we do things, our brain develops pathways so that we can do that easily. That's part of survival. If you always have to run to a certain place, then your brain develops a pathway so you can always run to that place very easily and quickly without thinking about it. That's why as you're developing a skill, at first it seems very hard, and then after a while you don't even have to think about it because your brain just does it. So what we need to do with our little guys, or however old they are, is to help them develop these habits so that they no longer have to think about it. At first they'll have to think about it. One of the skills that we're working on is cheerfulness, because I got a little guy that's upset about everything. I gave him a bagel. He didn't want a bagel. He wanted popcorn. Whatever. Yesterday was fine. Today I'm going to throw a fit. And I'm going to scream bloody murder for hours and hours and hours, So we're working on cheerfulness. Let's think about this. And yes, we're disappointed, but how can we, handle this with a cheerful attitude and solve this? So at first he has to think about it, Okay, I'm really upset. Let's talk about that. But so does being upset help this? What would cheerfulness look like in this? I know, yes, I'm disappointed, but how can I have a cheerful attitude anyway? And eventually he will get to where he will be able to voice that he's disappointed, but then move on and just have a cheerful attitude anyway. Going back to the example of making the bed, my older kids are horrible about making the bed, so we're working on that for them. Get up, make your bed. And at first, it's a struggle for them to make their bed. It feels awkward. They're not really sure how to do it. They don't like doing it. But after a while, it only takes them a few minutes. It's really quick, and they don't even think about it anymore. So that's a really good book if you're interested in, that kind of thing. It's nice because it's not, bogged down in, trauma all the time. Sometimes, when you're dealing with traumatized children, it's nice to just read something that's not totally focused on that. That's just normal kid stuff. And it applies really well to both. So I'll put the link on my blog to get the book, some more information about Charlotte Mason, and things like that. But yeah, so it's really helped me. So yeah, we have a great night.